This is Karen with newclevelandradio.net, and it is time for What in the World with Paul Seaburn and his sidekick, John DiNallo. And it is our last show of 2023 because New Cleveland Radio is going on break. How do you like that?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So
a well-deserved break, I should say.
Yes, I concur. A well-deserved break for all of us.
Well, of all of us. That's right. That's right.
So
are you done, Karen?
Show,
I missed rehearsal. I didn't know if there was something that was going on.
We all missed rehearsal. Well, this show is being sponsored by Yes, I Can, Coaching with Karen. And that's a great time to contact me and we can talk about coaching and not coaching for the Browns. So sorry, I don't do sports.
That's right. That's right. We have somebody who does sports here, and it's not me because I'm Paul Seaburn, the host of New Cleveland. No, the host of What in the World. There we go.
We're confused today.
One of these days we need to have a rehearsal. I know. What in the world? Everybody's favorite weird news show. Real news, sometimes strange, always funny. That's our motto. I am the head writer and editor at mysteriousuniverse.org. I think the cold weather has frozen my brain here. You can find all these many similar stories more about paranormal and Bigfoot and ghosts and all that good stuff over there. On What in the World, we talk about the weird news of the day, stuff you don't see on the mainstream media, on the regular news, on Facebook. You don't see any of that stuff unless you go to my Facebook page, and then you will. So we got a load of stuff to talk about. But first, let me introduce everybody else that's in your ear. The first voice was Karen Hale, as she said, the media mogul at newclevelandradio.net, the head of our sponsor, that is Yes I Can, Coaching with Karen. Great coaching program that she has there. She also has a great podcast platform. Please go visit them. There's all kind of great podcasts for you. But first, of course, listen to us, What in the World. We're on YouTube, so you can take a look at all the great photos we have. You can see what we look like. If you don't like that, just listen to us. And speaking of listening to us, he's been waiting patiently down on the screen somewhere over here is John DiNallo, my old buddy, the host of New Cleveland. What in the world?
Take it easy. Paul, take it easy. Take it deep.
I know. I got to slow. I'm going to take a drink of water here while John says hello to everybody.
Yes, hello everyone. Karen and Paul and all of our wonderful audience. As you can see, I'm decked out in Cleveland Browns gear. The Cleveland Browns have won their last 3 home games in exciting fashion. Joe Flacco has energized the city, and we're looking good for the playoffs, everybody. So go Browns.
Wait, don't jinx us. Don't jinx us down there, John. Yeah, Joe Flacco could run for mayor today and win if he were.
I think
absolutely. He could run for president and win.
Yeah, right.
Maybe. I don't know about that, but definitely mayor. Maybe even governor. He'd probably be good at that. But anyways, okay, so we've got some more sports coming up later on in the show from John in his segment. Right now, we've got all kind of weird news. As I mentioned, or maybe I didn't mention, but I'll mention again, if you can find me on Facebook, and you can find, I test out a lot of the stories during the week. So some of these you may have seen on Facebook. On the podcast, we go into much greater depth and analysis, and we really dig for the comedy in all of these stories. So, and speaking of digging for the stories, here's some of the stories we've got. Christmas tree warning. This is the holiday season. I've got some Christmas tree warnings for 2023. Even if you've already put your tree up, you need to watch out for these things. The wrong Christmas songs to sing. That's another one. Especially while you're driving. Yeah. Some last minute holiday gifts. If you haven't bought a gift for your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend or your kids, these aren't really kids' gifts, but we will be talking about that. An unusual bar in Japan where everybody leaves red-faced. And we're going to find out why they have a red face. And it's not because of too much to drink. A tattoo parlor in Florida or a tattoo on a person in Florida that looks better at 4 a.m. in the morning than it does at 4 p.m. We'll find out why that is. Interesting.
Wow, sounds interesting.
Yeah, John, if you're looking to get a tattoo, this might be
No,
one
I
for
don't think so, Paul, but
you.
sorry.
they they lost some food on the International Space Station and just found it. So we're going to be talking about that. Plus some more odd news. I've got some world records, and John's got a great sport for us today. So let's get right to it with our first story. As I said, it's our last show of the year, our holiday show. So to all of our regular listeners, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating. I know we have listeners from around the world, so I know there's holidays I'm missing in that
Absolutely.
list, and I'm not trying to leave you out. Please celebrate with us. I'm wearing my alien Christmas shirt,
Oh
so
yeah, sure, of course, wonderful. Very good, Paul. Very good.
I'll be celebrating alien Christmas. John knows I have a Bigfoot ornament on my hidden
Yes, you
somewhere in my
do.
Christmas tree.
Proudly displayed. I may proudly displayed.
That's right. Yeah, somewhat proudly. Somewhat displayed, maybe I should say. Proudly, but not necessarily displayed. Okay, so speaking of John, our regular listeners know that John and I are fraternity brothers. We met a long time ago. I won't say how many years ago when we were in college. We became fraternity brothers. We've been friends ever since. When we were in college, we went to a lot of bars together. Some that we remember, some that we don't. And, and we did some things that should have gotten our face slapped, or maybe I did some things that should have gotten our face slapped. John
I think I'm with you on that, Paul. I would probably not to be too far behind anyway.
There
But
you go. There you go. Okay, I'm glad you finally admit that, John. This is true confessions on what in the
it
world
is. It is. We're coming clean after all these years.
Nonetheless, there's a bar in Japan where guys go in to the bar expecting to get their faces slapped. They are looking for. In fact, it's not Hooters. Okay, number one, it's not Hooters. It's a real bar. It's called the Sachihoko Bar in Nagoya. I don't know where that is, somewhere in Japan. It not only allows the female staff to slap their patrons, but the customers actually pay for the privilege of getting slapped. Yeah, I know. I have that same
Wow.
reaction.
Wow.
Yeah, let's take a look. I've got some photos of these people getting slapped. There we go. Let's see if I've got the first one here. I don't remember how many I have there. Okay, so here she is. This is the bartender, or maybe a member of the wait staff, really slapping the heck out of the face of one of her customers. I
Gee.
saw the video of this, and there's a couple of videos if you look up face slapping in Japan. I think this particular one slapped once. There's a couple that were slapping back and forth, back and forth. It was unbelievable how many times they slapped their customer. To me, I think it's because they eat too much sushi, and sushi's bad for you. Raw fish, it's affecting their brain. That's what I. Believe it or not, this bizarre service is said to have revitalized the business of the bar that they're doing it at. I think here's another one right here. They said that since they've been doing it, they've had more and more customers. The word is on the internet. They're getting tourists coming in asking for the privilege to pay to have their faces slapped, even before they start drinking.
That will be a strange story, Paul.
I know. It gets better, John. So they pay 100 yen. When they first starting it, they paid 100 yen per slap. 100 yen is 90 cents. 90 cents to get your face slapped. And in the United States, if you left 90 cents on the bar as a tip for the bartender, that would get your face slapped.
Yeah.
But they're paying. They haven't even ordered anything yet, and they're paying. It's been so popular. They've raised the price now to 500 yen, which is $4.50 a slap. And as I said, if you look this up, you'll see them whacking the heck back and forth, back and forth. This guy's running up a tab of nothing but face slaps.
Wow. So as long as you charge for it, it's okay to slap somebody.
Well, to make money. Why else would you charge for it?
No, I'm saying if you
Oh.
charge for it. So if I decided to charge you and you paid
Oh.
for it, I could slap you.
That's true. That's
Okay.
true. That's true, and also a bad idea. But So believe it or not, though, Karen, now that you brought it up, both men and women at this bar pay to get their faces slapped. So it's
Wow.
not just the weird men living in Japan. It's also the weird women
Wow.
that live in Japan. And this girl, I like this picture here because this was obviously back from COVID maybe. But the waitress has her face mask on and she's slapping the face of the guy. So maybe she's afraid he's going to spit in her face while he's getting slapped or something. I don't know. It's so anyways, here's the reason why they do it. He said the harder the female slap, the more excited the patron become. Not only are they not angry, but they appeared to feel more relaxed after getting hit. They would even thank the staff members who smacked them. Direct quote by the owner, which reminds me of the paddling scene in Animal House, where the pledges, the guy's trying. Yeah, John, this is right up our alley. They would bend over and get their rear ends whacked with a paddle, and then say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" I don't think they were enjoying it as much as this guy claims to be, but definitely something that we can relate to.
I think I'm gonna try it on my husband when he comes home tonight.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, 90 cents. He's got 90
Yeah.
cents. Yeah. Make sure you have a dime. He might have $1 and he'll want change.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So this one comes from the space station. You know, we always talk about not only are we all over the world, we're all over the universe. So where our stories come from. This one comes from the space station. NASA is celebrating the 25th anniversary of the opening of the International Space Station. 25 years ago. Time flies, obviously. So they treated the astronauts to a phone call. I think I have a photo of there's the International Space Station right there. They treated the astronauts to a phone call from the astronaut who was piloting the space station that pushed the last pieces together, the American side and the Russian side, so that they could unite it and open up the space station to be used. He was telling them that before he did that, the last thing he had to do is he had to put a wax ring in between the American and the Russian side. You know, like when you install a toilet. And they wondered why. And then he said, "Well, have you looked at the Russian module?" And they said, "Oh yeah, never mind." So he also mentioned that there were a few parts left over. So they must have got the last module at IKEA and were, in a hurry to put it together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So so also another story from the International Space Station. This comes from an astronaut who is currently. No, he just left. He was up there. So he missed this big event. But while he was there, he was growing tomatoes. Astronaut Frank Rubio from the United States. I think I have a photo of him. Oh, no, I don't. So Frank Rubio was growing tomatoes on the space station. These little tiny cherry tomatoes that everybody, you see in salads. So that's all the room they had to grow up there. So he ended up with like 7 or 8 of them, which was exactly 1 per crew member. So he's parceling them out very carefully, and he has stage 1 for himself. When they're all done, he goes to get his, and he can't find it. So he's accusing the other astronauts and cosmonauts of stealing his tomato. They're saying, "Oh no, you probably ate yours beforehand, so you could get another one and screw one of us out of it." Yeah, seriously. So they argued about it. Yeah. So he got mad. So yeah, he spent 8 months looking for the tomato because he was so upset about it. He knew he put it in a baggie. He knew it was in the space station somewhere, and it's huge. It's like a house. I never did find it. So he went back to Earth. They finally found it this week. And they said, it turned out he wasn't lying. They found it. And you know what happens when you're up in space and you can go off and do whatever you want and get infected and all that. Kind of like that movie, The Alien. This is what the tomato looks like now. There you go. Now I've got my video.
Oh my goodness.
A ferocious tomato. I never.
Yeah.
The tomato that ate Cleveland. So anyways, no, it's just a shriveled up tomato. So they, so the American astronauts, the way after they found it, they gave it to the Russian astronauts and told them that it was beef jerky, and they ate it. You know.
Oh, they're
You know,
misleading them. They're misleading.
yeah, you know, it's they have fun up there. They have fun up there on the space station. Okay, let's move on to the holiday portion of the show. So here's our warnings for those of you who are celebrating the Christmas holiday. John, do you have your tree up, by the way? I forgot.
Oh, as a matter of fact, it's an excellent tree. My wife and I, spent a couple hours, going to a few places, and we selected a tree that's doing very well right now. And I get to kind of pat ourselves on the back. I think it looks really good.
Well, you better look in there very good, better, because, and that I know that's terrible English, but a woman in Texas said she was shocked when she saw something moving in her Christmas tree that she had put up and decorated 10 days ago, 10 days before. And she discovered there was a live possum in her Christmas tree.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. A
Oh,
live
yeah.
possum hiding in her Christmas tree. So she called animal control, and they said, well, we can't come out to help you. You might as well do it yourself. Put on some gloves and take it out yourself and let it run around outside. So she goes to get the gloves and goes to get the possum out. And in the meantime, her young son ran out the door, ran to the mall, grabbed the first Santa Claus he found, and he said, he says, Santa, here's what I want. I want an official Red Ryder carbon action 200 shot range model air possum rifle right away. For those of you who don't recognize that, that's from what is that from? A Christmas Story?
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story, right?
Just a story filmed in Cleveland, Ohio.
Nice segue, Paul. Nice segue there. Very good.
Yeah. By the way, so the lady was saying she lost the possum for a while, and then she heard a sneeze in this tree, and that led her to the possum. So I would have looked up at the top, with the if I heard something sneezing in the tree, I would have looked up at the top to see if the angel was doing a line of coke.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, those angels. So she found the possum, and then she goes to grab it, and it runs out of the tree. So now she's chasing it all around her house. It took her a half an hour to finally catch the possum. So in case you're wondering how you get a possum inside your house, this was Texas. She called Uber Eats, and what a possum, I think, is the location of the fast food place that delivers them. So animal control, and I can't believe this, the animal control told her to catch it herself. Animal control in Texas is like Home Depot. Everything is do it yourself.
Oh
come on now, buy some gloves and go home, and here's some instructions on how to do it. Or you can take one of our classes, Home Depot. There's all those classes.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's right, John. I know you would have caught it, or at least Annette would have caught it. You would have been
probably Annette.
Yeah. So then here's how she describes it. And this looks like a small possum. She says that she chased it around the house, and then she said, I had to tackle him like an NFL football player. Now again, this is in Houston, so she was obviously referring to a member of the Browns, not a member of the Texans. Because they didn't do much tackling last weekend, if I remember correctly. So she released it back into the wild. So I got in contact with some possums I know down in Texas, and I wanted to know how he was doing. And they said he ran back into the woods. He found all of his buddies, and he told them that the story of how he stole a house from these humans that lived in it, and he held them as prisoner for 10 days until he decided that they had been punished enough, and he gave them their house back, but not before he went through all their trash to see if they had any good food in there. Wow. Yeah.
That's quite a story you got there, Paul.
Looking at the tree, it doesn't look, it looks like it's a artificial tree.
It does look artificial. So
how did the possum get into the artificial tree?
She called Uber Possum.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have no idea. they didn't get into that in any of the articles that I read doing the extensive research
it.
I did for this story. So anyway, if there's an update, check out the possum in the tree in Texas, and you might find one.
Okay.
Thanks for the heads
Now,
up.
yeah, if you thought getting a possum in your tree was bad, here's another story. A woman in Kentucky was shocked, absolutely shocked, when she looks in her tree and she found a baby owl in her tree 4 days after she put it up. Here's a photo. I think I've got a photo here. There's the baby owl in her tree.
Oh,
Really?
4 days, and she now it doesn't look decorated. She claims that she had already decorated it. Maybe there's some lights on it. I think there are some lights in
yeah,
there.
the lights
How
on
could
it.
she-
Yeah.
Yeah, how could she decorate the tree and not see a baby owl hiding in there, unless it was hiding in the bathroom or something, waiting for her
Yeah,
to finish?
really?
Wow.
Yeah. So Uncle Horton said, "I told you I heard something in that tree." That's a that's a joke for everybody who ever read Dr. Seuss. Horton hears a who. I need,
I forgot that. You
I-
brought it back to memory, Paul. Yeah, I had forgotten that. Wow.
yeah, my lovely cousin Elaine. She doesn't like too many of my jokes, but she actually I put that on Facebook, and she actually liked that one. She turned me, so when back in our younger days when we were kids, she turned me on to Dr. Seuss. So
Okay.
yeah. So anyways, the owl was in the tree for 4 days. 4 days.
Wow.
I think they knew it was there. Yeah, but they were waiting until all the mice were gone. You know, but why they would have mice, I don't know. Kentucky, I guess. How did they see it? You know how they actually saw it finally? It was up on the top of the tree trying to mate with the angel.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
What kind of Christmas story is that?
I-
I'm just saying.
it's a Mormon Christmas story. I don't know.
That's a plausible explanation, Paul. That's
I have no idea. It's the snake handlers. I think that's. I don't know, John. Yeah, but
don't get all bent out of shape on this, Paul. That's okay.
don't go throwing us off the track here, John.
Sounds like you guys have been drinking.
Too much eggnog. Too much eggnog.
So, so they called animal control, and they told them the same thing. You got to get it out yourself. So she did the same thing. She got some gloves, and she grabbed the owl very carefully and took it outside and let it go.
That's a good story then. That's good.
Yeah.
Happy
And the owl went flying away looking for Harry Potter, I guess. That was Harry Potter, celebrate Christmas with Harry Potter. Well,
Sure.
how are we doing here on time? Boy, I got to watch it here. Okay. So this is another animal story. So this comes from Miami, Florida. So some paintings made by rescued chimpanzees in a sanctuary in Miami. The paintings are now on sale at an exhibition, and some of them are expected to go for $10,000 or more. Here's a photo I have of there's a chimpanzee, one of the chimpanzees at this sanctuary painting, and on the left is what is the end result. That kind of painting is selling for $10,000. In a related story, hundreds of students at the University of Miami have recently changed their majors from art to primatology. I mean, you're not gonna sell your painting when you're a freshman in college for $10,000, but
No way.
let a monkey do it. I think I have another one here. Speaking of monkeys, oh yeah, there you go. There's another little monkey there with another photo. Yeah. So, I painted my bedroom once, and the lovely Donna said it looked like a monkey did it. But I should have saved it. Maybe I could sell it. Wasn't intentional. So zoos used to do this all the time. In fact, I guess they still do. They put boards and paint in the cages with the animals or in the display and let them paint and sell them. Now they just give the monkeys cell phones and let them talk all day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, John, the reason why I like this story, John is an art lover. John art history lover, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
Is that
correct.
correct? Yeah. So I've got some paintings here. I want you to tell me if these paintings were painted by a monkey or an artist. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, so here's the first one. This is the reason why those of you listening, you need to tune in on YouTube because you can see these paintings. So here's the
Absolutely.
first painting, John. What do you think? Artist or monkey?
I'm going to say a monkey.
Monkey, correct. Okay, here's another one. Artist or monkey?
It's got, I mean, I think that's self-explanatory. I won't even give up.
We're looking at a photo here that is of a painting that is called Monkey Lisa because it's the Mona Lisa with a chimpanzee face.
In
So
hands.
yeah, there you go. Let's see.
Yeah.
Do I have another one here? Oh, there's one more. Monkey or person?
You gotta go with the flow. It's got to be the monkey on this one too.
The monkey, yeah, the monkey obviously did. This is American Gothic. The famous photo of the farmer and his wife with monkey heads on them. By the way, I read a story about that, the original painting of that once, and I think they were related to the painter. They were friends of his, and they ended up doing other paintings for him. By the way, John probably knows, but we're out of time here, so otherwise I'd ask John to explain it. Okay.
No, that's yeah.
Another Christmas story here because I know you love the Christmas story. So this one has to do with Christmas music. I talked about this on Facebook. A new study found that songs with beats per minute of over 120 beats per minute can lead to dangerous driving habits and accidents while you're listening in the car, which means they went through and looked at the most dangerous Christmas songs that people listen to. Most dangerous song, Frosty the Snowman. Frosty the Snowman. Apparently it's the fastest Christmas song. So there's a picture of a little girl riding Frosty the Snowman to illustrate the theme of listening to Frosty while you're driving. Number 2, All I Want for Christmas Is You, that ubiquitous song by what's her name? Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. Right.
Number 3, Feliz Navidad. I was surprised at that one. I'm not sure if it's the Jose Feliciano version or the one done by 100 other people. I mean, really. And Santa Claus is coming to town. So also they had a warning that if you feel your chestnuts roasting while you're driving, that means you have your seat warmer on too high.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, I'll give you that one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Well, Grandma got run over by a reindeer, they said, is only dangerous if Grandma is sitting in the back seat right behind you and doesn't like the Also, they said that driving while distracted can lead to being pulled over by the Police Navidad. And I believe I have a photo. I have a photo of the Police Navidad right there.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's a photo of a snowman dressed up in a police uniform, he's holding the handcuffs. They really did a nice job on that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that was
So-
that's quite a rendering there. Yeah.
John, do you listen to Christmas carols in the car while you're driving around?
Well, sometimes I do, but when I'm in the mall, and I'm in the mall commonly because I actually am a mall walker.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so since I think the day or two after Thanksgiving, I've been hearing the songs, and they're okay. I mean, you gotta take them with a grain of salt. I mean, I think a lot of times people just say, "I can't stand that Christmas music." I want it to be over with.
Yeah.
Take for what it's worth. It's I don't know.
They start too early. I would. That's a good.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, they should start a little later. By today, today's the 12th of December. People are tired of hearing the same songs over and over again.
Sure.
They could start a little later. I listen to them too, but by now I'm punching the buttons on the radio, trying to get something else, poking the screen, trying. I've even listened to polkas while driving.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. If believe it or not, there's polka stations in Cleveland.
Yes, there are. I know that for a fact.
So, and then this is the worst part, and the lovely Donna complains about this. The day after Christmas, they immediately turn off the Christmas songs and go back to whatever they were programming before. Now, the day after Christmas is a good day to continue to listen to Christmas songs, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree on that.
Yeah, because you're still in the Christmas spirit. That's the day when you're returning to the store. You can get something that you really want. So you still want to be in
There you go.
You want to be in the Christmas spirit for at least one more day.
Sure.
Now, this got more feedback on Facebook than any other story I've done in quite a while. A woman in England claims she developed a craving for eating baby powder while she was pregnant. And now she consumes a $14 bottle of baby powder every single day.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Entire bottle. Yeah, there she is right there. It's an eating disorder. And Johnson's, who makes the baby powder, they warn that it's cornstarch baby powder with aloe and vitamin E. It shouldn't be eaten, but she claims she had no side effects, and she's been doing it for quite a while now. You can
Ugh,
see powder dribbling off the side of her mouth.
that
What's
is
the expression?
disgusting.
No, well, what's the
Yeah.
expression? It takes all
And,
kinds. That's all I have to say on that.
Added benefit when she sneezes and farts at the same time.
Oh man.
You can sneeze without anybody seeing her. She could no, let's see. That's what. Okay, hang on a second here. There we go. She has this disease called pica, which is a mineral deficiency. It causes people to eat dirt. Though she's at least not eating dirt. She's eating baby
Wow.
powder.
Baby powder. Ugh.
She could take medication, by the way, but her breath is fresh, her teeth are white,
Oh
and
my
she
God.
doesn't have a rash on her tongue anymore. So
Does she have a projection, Paul, as to how long she's going to be doing this? I mean, she's going to be doing this for every day for the next.
I don't know, John. She's been doing it for a while. I've heard of people eating dirt for years. It's not recommended eating the baby powder, especially if it's cornstarch, but it's not poison. And you can see she dumps the whole bottle in a bowl and she spoons it into her mouth with a big spoon. Yeah, and she eats it dry. She eats it dry. Yeah, I know. She hasn't spit in months. It's just I don't know how she can swallow, but anyways.
Hey, kids, don't try this at home.
Kids, there you go, from Coach Karen. That's a free coaching tip from Coach Karen. Don't try this at home. Okay, here's something you should try though. A McDonald's customer in Buckinghamshire, England, bought a large order of fries and a strawberry shake, and was stunned when he went to grab one of the fries, and it looked back at him. It has a face on it. Yeah, a face that looks like it's grinning back at him. Now, I've got a photo of it here in a circle conveniently around the French fry with two eyes and a grin. Talk about there was such a shocking story. He went to a McDonald's that actually had a shake machine that worked. That was what shocked me. Yeah.
That's very funny, Paul. That's very funny. Very good.
And true. It's true.
It's true.
So,
Yeah.
So
yes.
I mean, but to me, if you take your time to look at your fries before you're eating them, you've obviously never eaten McDonald's fries, because most people are pulling them out of the box as soon as the clerk hands them the fries.
Right.
So he must have been new at McDonald's and he decided to look at his fries, and that's when he saw the face. Kind of looks like a deep fried worm, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, which would make it the healthiest thing on the McDonald's menu, deep fried
You're
worm.
probably right. Probably right about that, Paul.
In fact, I think this branch of McDonald's is thinking about offering them, calling it fries with a face.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's or you order a McRib and you get a side of McRibless, which don't have ribs. So anyway, stuff on that. Yeah. Okay, back to Christmas. So if you haven't done John, are you done with all your shopping?
No, but I'm into it right now. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm not done yet, but I'm doing okay actually. I think I'm pretty good shape.
Well, we've got some tips for you here. Just in time for Christmas, the Italian fashion house Bottega Veneta. I'm sure you don't know who that is, but Annette does. They unveiled.
He does.
Yeah, their new product. It's called. Let me put a photo of it here. So while I describe it, it's called the Raw Paper Leather Top Handle Bag. And it's a purse that looks identical to a paper grocery bag, but cost $1,900 for a small one, which this model is holding here. And
No way.
Yeah, $2,500 for the medium size. I guess they don't have a large size because people can't afford it.
Well, I just think, Paul, it's probably a good example of people with like disposable income to some of those people, I guess they can do that. Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, John, if you wanted to get one of these for Ned, I'm getting one for the lovely Donna. Here's what I'm going to do. I found a black pen and I already have the bag. I'm just going to make a logo on it with my black pen.
Oh, you're gonna like kind of fashion one yourself? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm going to make one myself. Homemade,
Okay.
Bigdorf Goodman or whatever the heck this company is. My good friend Gail down in Tennessee, she sent me a message. She said that I put up this picture, and she said she spent the whole afternoon clicking on it trying to order it. Which I know she doesn't because she spends $2,500 a month just on dog food, so she can't afford to buy a purse that looks like a paper bag.
Wow.
So yeah, last week we had the $900 towel. You remember that? Now we got the
I remember that.
Yeah, now we got the $2,500 dollar paper bag. Who says the economy is bad? People are buying these things, so it must be doing good. As John said, people with a lot of disposable income. And I can just see, if I got one of these, I'd grab it by, lovely Donna, I'd grab it by mistake. I'd take it to the grocery store. I'd get a rotisserie chicken, put it in there. Oh man, I come home, it's grease all over the place. I just,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Doghouse. Well, you'd
Yeah.
be the doghouse on that one.
Now, John and Karen, both of you, what would our parents think of something like this?
Oh, no, that's not even the realm of possibility. I mean, they would poo-poo that immediately.
My
Yeah.
mother was a seamstress, so she would have looked at this and she would have gone out and gotten material and made it for like $2.
Oh, there you
And
go.
she would
Yeah.
sell it for $2 and a penny because she didn't want to cheat anybody.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking if I got something like this to give to someone, I'd be afraid to tell my father because he might find it, and the first thing he would do is cut it up and make a book cover out of it.
There you go. Sure.
There you go. So I had to look up there. For those of you who can't imagine covering a book with a grocery bag, not the plastic ones. This is a paper grocery bag. I have the steps. So here's a picture of the person here just cut the bottom off the bag. And now this is they folded it up. Very simple to fold, slide it over the hard cover on the front, the hard cover on the back, and the end result looks like that. There you go. So that was the thing we had to do when we were kids. You brought your books home. The first thing
Like
you had
the
to
song
do
says, Paul and Karen.
Yeah.
It looks hauntingly familiar.
Now the wealthy, the wealthy kids, their parents would go to the store. They'd go to like Burroughs or someplace like that, and they would buy book covers, ready-made book covers with advertising all over them. But those of us who grew up on the other side of town, we used our paper bags.
Yes, we
Yes, we did.
And that's what they look like. Yeah. So I thought a little trip down memory lane here for those.
That's a good point there, Paul. Very good.
Certain age. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. That was the paper bag story. Okay. So now, wait till you hear this one. This is just the most unbelievable story of the week. I normally don't like doing crime stories, because because it's crime. Somebody may have been hurt, but this one was too good to pass up. So this one comes from Florida. Where else? And it has to do with the Waffle House. So instead of calling it a crime story, I'm going to call it a Waffle House story.
Okay.
A man in Florida was arrested for alleged theft after he refused to pay $2,500 for getting, get ready for this, a Waffle House logo tattooed on his right calf.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not making this up. There is a Waffle House tattoo right there. Now this is not the one he got, and I'll explain it here. So and wait till you see these tattoos. So he refused to pay. He got it on his right calf, and he refused to pay the tattoo artist, which caused me to wonder. Maybe the artist put it on the wrong in the wrong place. The guy maybe he wanted it on his forehead or something, and he didn't. He put it on his calf. Well, does he think he's going to get a discount from Waffle House for doing this?
Yeah.
Wouldn't, because at Waffle House, no one would even notice because a lot of people get Waffle House logo. Here's another one right here. Look at this one. This was much
Wow.
bigger here. Yeah, that's a nice
Looks
one.
like the real deal. That looks like
Yeah.
the real logo.
So it does. It looks just like the sign. So what the story said is that the guy was mad because the tattoo only had the words Waffle House, but they were not done in yellow. They were not done in yellow, and the guy wanted to charge him another $100 for the ink in order to make it yellow, and he didn't want to pay for that. So the guy gave him, one of those yellow highlighters that we used to use to mark up books. I just threw it in, yeah. But the guy raised such a ruckus at the tattoo parlor that they called the police, and he's charged with stiffing the tattoo artist. Why? The way the thing I don't understand, why on your thigh? Why would you put it on your thigh? The only thing I could come up with is that, if I were to do something like this, I'm taking a shower in the morning, I'm thinking, wow, where's that place I used to go for breakfast? And as I slowly, oh, that's it, Waffle House. Oh, thanks for reminding me, thigh.
Oh,
Wow.
Lord.
Yeah. Well, now wait till you see this. And this is another reason why those of you who are listening need to check us out on YouTube. I think I have. Here's one that with the Waffle House logo on a mug.
It says Waffle Home.
Waffle Home, yeah. But this is the best one. This is the best one right here. Here we go. So they put a lot of thought into this one. This is not just the Waffle House sign. This person had an entire Waffle House restaurant tattooed on it, apparently their thigh. Also, a girl who may be his girlfriend, although it says in writing, about script writing above the Waffle House, white trash. So maybe not. I don't know if it's his girlfriend or maybe his ex-girlfriend.
That's an eye catcher, I think, Paul and Karen. That's an eye catcher. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's his ex-girlfriend. So there you go, John. I will save this photo for you in case you ever want to get a Waffle House.
I'll keep it in mind. Paul, I'll keep it in mind. But not making any commitment, though.
Better yet, I'll send it to your wife and she'll get it for you for Christmas. How about that?
No thanks. No thanks. I'm bailing on that one. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So I think I've read. Yeah, I have. Wow, that was pretty good. So we've reached the end of the news portion of What in the World, which means it's time for What in the World of Sports with John DiNallo. So as I mentioned before at the beginning, I want to do a shout out, by the way, to someone that both John and I know, and that's Mel. Mel's a good friend of ours from John. John's known him all of his life. I've known Mel since high school. A regular listener to the show. Also his brother John, if he's listening, I say hello to him as well. I know they love What in the World of Sport. Our fraternity brother Dan, he loves What in the World of Sports. Our buddy Brian down in West Virginia, everybody loves What in the World of Sports. Why? Because every week I challenge John to come up with a really strange sport that fits in the theme. Real sport, sometimes strange, always funny. And John always manages to find one. So wait till you see the sport we've got this week. I've got your photos lined up here, John. So take it away with your sport.
Oh, sounds good, Paul. Thanks for the intro. So our sport this week is very, very different. And our sport this week is forklift driving.
Forklift driving. Competitive forklift driving.
Well,
okay.
And it's an activity that Amazon, as everyone knows, could not survive without forklift.
Sure.
But there is an actual competition.
Wow.
Germany hosts what is called the annual Stapler Cup, which is a competitive event that sees hundreds of forklift drivers, get ready for this, from around the world going head to head in a series of difficult challenges so you could gain the title of the world's best forklift operator.
Now, for those of you listening, that John said Stapler Cup, and that is stapler, Stapler, like the thing that you use to staple pieces of paper together. Why it's called a Stapler Cup, maybe he'll explain that. I don't know, but there you go. There it is, right there.
Thank you,
wow,
Paul.
okay.
Well, yeah, let me continue. So now, competitive forklift driving does not sound like the most exciting competition event in the world, because that's probably, you have never seen Stapler Cup competition. So it is organized by the German company Lindy Materials and is not only recognized as the ultimate test for forklift operators, but also as an entertaining event that, believe it or not, draws tens of thousands of spectators each year.
Wow.
So the Stapler Cup, or Stapler Cup, however you want to pronounce it, was the brainchild of Lindy's marketing director. And he envisioned a competition that would demonstrate the level of art, skill, and even the passion that goes into handling forklifts. And you don't think of that necessarily.
The passion,
You
the
know, it's a
passion
big
of
machine that
forklifting.
can
Oh,
move things around. But Lindy Materials, top forklift driver, a gentleman by the name of Peter Sofert, he helped him create the first Stapler Cup or Stapler Cup obstacle course back in 1992.
wow.
Now you may be curious as to where this takes place. The Bavarian town of Aschaffenburg hosts the Stapler Cup or Stapler Cup every year. Now, up until 2007, the event was only reserved for German forklift masters. But now it has become a global affair due to its popularity. As a matter of fact, it is televised. Now, today, it is a televised event. Now, today, thousands of forklift drivers attempt to qualify for the Stapler Cup in national events. So each country, or not each country, but the countries that have this competition, they will send a representative of being the best forklift driver or operator. And again, this is to showcase their skills, on the big stage. Now, that's a very good picture, Paul. This is not just lifting and moving pallets. One event requires drivers to use the prong of the forklift to put eyelets of thin wire around a ballpoint pen refill.
Wow, that's fine driving right there. Wow.
That is phenomenal. Now, others include stacking crates to like millimeter precision. They actually measure how they're stacking the pallets. And then also transporting vessels of liquid without any spillage, and then moving and maneuvering through incredibly, in difficult courses. I mean, to be able to keep, to keep the competition going. I mean, a lot of these, as you can see, a lot of these forklift operators, they're going to be having these loads that are, stacked, and it takes a real skill to make sure that they don't dump them.
Yeah.
And then what has to be done is, as the competition continues, they will park the vehicle, and then they have to sprint up a ramp to slam a big red button to indicate that the run is finished.
Wow.
I mean, it's it is a
Pretty competitive, yeah.
And some of you may say, well,
like
that's
big
not a sport.
trophies there. Yeah, I wonder if they probably get some money.
Well, yeah. Now, and you think of this, it's ironic that we are the country in the world with the most warehouses, yet Team USA has never won the Stapler Cup.
Wow.
I think for American pride, it's time we take home at least one Stapler Cup trophy. And we need to do it before they let robots enter the competition.
Whoa, you're right. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, the robots are taking over at the Amazon warehouses. Maybe, that's a real problem. But wow, what an interesting sport. The photos, for those of you who are listening, the photos on YouTube are quite amazing. The stacking, there was only one where they were stacking pallets. The rest of them stacking odd shaped balls and cups, and looked like they were racing, and a lot of people in the stand. That's and televised, that's a perfect, it's like like demolition derby or auto race.
I found the research on this to be amazing. In fact, I couldn't believe it at first, because how can you find that exciting? But tens of thousands of people, okay, are watching this competition.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I
to
know.
each his own, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah. That and the Germans, they're into precision, so I can
Oh, yeah,
see
right,
that.
sure. Of
Yeah.
course.
Well, great sport. Now, John, John makes it sound like he's never heard of this sport before. But I've known John a long time. And he sometimes forgets some of the things that we did while we were in college, as I
That is,
mentioned
that
earlier
is
in the
very true, Paul.
show.
That is very true.
Believe it or not, while we were in a fraternity, I believe there was a competition that we had entered, the fraternity had entered, and somehow the brothers believed that John and I were the best people to drive forklifts in this competition at our school. So it was John and I, our responsibility was to go find some forklifts and practice and then show up to compete. So I found my forklift and I got back to school and John's not there. In fact, here's a photo of me. I'm at school. I'm looking for John. I'm looking everywhere. I'm on the top of my forklift. That was one thing I knew how to do. I knew how to raise the fork up and down. So I'm on the top of the forklift looking for John. I finally see him in a parking lot. And it was wintertime, although this parking lot doesn't look too snowy here. It's wintertime. So John is in the parking lot. He's driving over obstacles. He's doing donuts in the snow. John's a master at driving in the snow. So that's what he was doing.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, look at that guy. He was doing stunts in his forklift. So needless to say, we were late for the competition, and I think we got paddled after that, didn't we, John?
Oh, I think we had to pay the price, Paul. I think we did. Now that you mentioned that, yeah. Well,
You
my
know,
memory
you
is
two,
slowly
two
coming
are
back.
so crazy. How did you get Annette and Donna to marry you two?
Oh, but
Oh, you
another
can
friend of
explain
ours.
that.
That's pretty funny because John and I had dinner this past week with two other older brothers of ours, and all of the wives say the same thing. How did you guys survive all this stuff? We may have elaborated some of the stories a bit, exaggerated a little bit, but who knows? Today, I don't even want to think about it. Anyways, okay. I think we've reached the end of What in the World of Sports. Thank you, John, again for that great
Oh, you're welcome.
great sport. And that means it's time for Bluff the Co-Host, everybody's favorite weird news game. Oh, and then one more shout out. This is the last show of the year. So I want to do a shout out to our friend Paul up in, wow, geez, I can't remember, in New Hampshire or Connecticut. Paul the Puppeteer. That's what I call him. So he loves Bluff the Co-Host. That's his favorite part of the show. So I know he's listening in. He normally listens in live. So Bluff the Co-Host is very simple. I have 3 news stories. Similar to the ones that we've been talking about all afternoon. One big difference: those stories were all real. In Bluff the Co-Host, they may be real, they may be a bluff, and it's up to Karen, John, and those of you playing at home to decide real or bluff. Kind of like John picking out the paintings. So, monkey or not monkey. So wagering is allowed. Place your bets. John and Karen, put your hands on the buzzer, and let's get right to story number 1. It's hard to celebrate Christmas in Florida without any snow, but one family there didn't let weather stop them from putting up a Santa in a gift-filled sleigh pulled by 8 life-size reindeer in their front yard. Unfortunately, something else stopped them from celebrating Christmas as they heard such a clatter on the lawn that they ran to the window and peeked out just in time to see a large black bear killing all of their reindeer and dragging them into the nearby woods. They caught the whole thing on their security camera in case the insurance agent didn't believe them. And they found some of the mangled deer strewn all around the neighborhood. Luckily, the bear spared Santa, which means that he may still get that year's supply of Charmin bathroom tissue he asked for. Okay, so the family that put up 8 life-size reindeer and a sleigh in their front yard in Florida, only to see a bear come out of the woods and kill all the reindeer and drag them off. Real or bluff? What do you say, Karen?
Well, I think it was a week or so ago, you gave us another story in Florida where there was a bear.
Oh, that's right. I think so.
Typically,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think of bears in Florida,
Right.
but I'm going to say it's true.
Okay, based on and Karen remembers those stories, remembers those fine points from the show. There you go. Okay, so Karen says it's a real story. John, how about you? Real or monkey? I bluff. Real.
A monkey on the brain. No, I'm going to agree with Karen on this one. I'm going to say it's a real story also.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
definitely understand that happening. Yes.
Okay. All right. John and Karen both say that's a real story. Let's check with the judges. The judges say congratulations to both of you. That is a real story.
All right.
We're doing good.
Right foot here.
I don't know where bears hide in Florida, but I didn't know that they were there. Bears are there, panthers. So be careful down there. Iguanas, monkeys.
I think everyone be careful in the great state of Florida. Absolutely.
There you go. That's right. Okay. So let's see. Scores 1-1. Let's get right to story number 2. It may sound like a duck and have webbed feet like a duck, but the animal that has been driving people daffy at a nature park in India is not a duck at all, but a newly discovered species of frog that has evolved from croaking to quacking all night long. Amphibian experts say the frog has a large face and an unusual, a large body. I'm sorry, I left out a letter there. Has a large body and an unusual round snout, which may be why it quacks. But they're not big enough to swallow a duckling, so it didn't learn this trick to be a duck hunter. However, duck hunters in India may become frog hunters if this new species keeps ruining their calls and scaring away the real ducks. If frogs knew how annoyed the hunters are, they would surely be quacking up. Okay, so the unusual frog discovered in India that quacks instead of croaking. What do you say, John? Real or bluff?
Oh, I'm going to say it's real. I mean, I can see that India is such a large country, and I think that there's so many species of animals there. I mean, just by rationale, I mean, so I could, and they're discovering different species. So I'm going to say it's a real story. I think it's true.
Okay. So even though they've never heard of croaking before, so maybe we should be looking for Bigfoot in India if a croaking frog.
Well, I mean, I think the search for Bigfoot remains everywhere.
Okay, maybe the quacking frog knows where it is. All right, so John says that's a real story. Karen, how about you?
Yeah, I don't think so, because you said it evolved based on its croaking.
Yeah, based on its body and its head.
It just doesn't seem to make sense. So I'm going to say this is a bluff.
Oh, okay. So Karen says it's a bluff. John says it's real. We'll check with the judges. The judges say, congratulations, John. That is a true story. Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, yeah, the quacking frog of India coming soon to a bookstore near you. Okay, so John's ahead 2-1, but everybody who's played this game before knows that points are doubled in round number 3. So Karen could come back. Karen won last week after John had a winning streak going. So, you know, things turn on a dime on Bluff the Co-Host. Let's get right to story number 3. Everyone loves a roaring fire in the fireplace during the holidays, but not everyone has a fireplace. So cable TV providers annually set aside a channel just for a round-the-clock video of a roaring fire. In Philadelphia, one company decided to localize theirs by replacing the fireplace with an old rusty barrel filled with scrap wood that blazes away while Christmas music plays in the background. While doo-wop Christmas music might be more appropriate, the fire barrel is from an actual Philadelphia alleyway where guys like to gather to stay warm, drink cheap booze, and complain about the Eagles. The fire barrel Christmas barrel is so popular, other cities are already looking into it, although the mayor of Los Angeles has already said he will only allow a fake fire barrel. Okay, so the cable TV station in Philadelphia, instead of using a fireplace, they have a fire barrel in an alleyway in Philadelphia with Christmas carols. Real or bluff? Karen, how about you?
Well, I certainly hope it's a bluff, because it just doesn't sound very appealing. So I'm going to say Bluff.
Have you been to Philadelphia, Karen?
I lived there for 4 years.
Oh, so you would relate to this. So,
Yeah.
okay, so wow, voice of experience here. Karen says it's the Bluff. John, how about you?
Well, I'm going to go counter on this one to Karen because the first thought that came to my mind was those scenes from the movie Rocky, where those guys are outside that are singing. It's in the wintertime, right? And it's a fire barrel. And I know which channel on my TV system has the fireplace. So taking
Yep.
it a step further, fire barrel instead of fireplace, I'm going to say it's real.
Wow. Okay. So John says it's real based on the scene in Rocky. Wow, that's a good correlation there. Karen says it's the Bluff because she lived in Philadelphia. Let's check with the judges. The judges say, congratulations, John. That is a real story. Sorry, no bluffing this week. 3 real stories, Karen. Sorry about that.
Wow. Who wants to
John-
see who wants to look at a barrel?
I know.
No, I
Google
agree
it.
with Karen on that point. I mean, it's not very Christmas-like. I mean, it's more of a, industrial type thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But
I hate to sound, but I sound my age. It would have been better if there were a bunch of bums dressed like Santa standing around singing.
Yeah.
Then it would be then it would look more Philadelphian.
Yeah.
yeah, drinking flask of whiskey or wine or what.
Oh,
Brandy or eggnog.
Oh yeah, there you
How
go.
about eggnog, yeah.
That's it. There you are. Oh yeah, well, make it for the season. Make it eggnog.
There you go. There you go. All right. Okay. Well, that's the end of Bluff the Co-Host for 2023. And that means it's also the end of What in the World for 2023. Let me tell you, for me, it has been a thrill and an honor to do this podcast as much as we have. It was a whole lot of fun this year. This was a great fun year. I don't know why. Maybe it was the weird stories. I'm going to guess it's the great people that I get to work with. And that is Karen Hale, the media mogul at newclevelandradio.net, our co-host, also our sponsor through coaching. I can coach. I can
yes,
coach.
I can.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Remember that it's yes, I can. So thank you, Karen, for everything you do for us and for all the great podcasters at newclevelandradio.net. Everybody check it out and listen to all the great podcasts that Karen had. And then, as always, I want to wish a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a big thank you to my buddy John with the sports and the color commentary, filling in the blanks when my mind goes, wherever, wandering off, wherever it goes.
Thanks, Paul. And hey, I likewise. It's been a great year. I think we're a great team, and I think we've got a great audience, and we want to make the audience hopefully greater next year. Looking forward to more of an audience in 2024.
That's right. The biggest thanks, as always, is to our listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening to us on Spotify or Apple or especially YouTube. I mentioned YouTube a number of times today. If you do visit us on YouTube, make sure you follow us because that's how we find out how many people we have watching and listening. So on that note, I think that we're going to wrap it up for 2023. Karen, take it away.
We will be back in January of 2024. And for the next couple of weeks, all you have to do is, go listen to the past shows. And boy, we're going to be starting season 7 with you. Do you realize?
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
And we have some people who have listened the entire time. And I'm referring to a couple of our friends down in Texas. So I want to say hi to them and wish them a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year as well. And on that note, I think we should say bye-bye for
Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye
Bye
now.
everybody. See you in 2024.
Absolutely.